Ira. Telling Ira. Okay. If you're just joining us, you can get a siddur, a prayer book, from the bookshelf over there, the top books. I wrote it in G. It was okay. Here, I'm going to point this towards you. Turn, 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 turn. I don't know how to do that. Oh. Okay, ready? La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la
Wow, Chag Sameach, everyone. So wonderful to be together. This is one of my favorite holidays to celebrate, Simchat Torah. is, first of all, Simcha means happy, so it's a holiday where we're supposed to be extremely happy and joyful. And Torah, we get to celebrate Torah. We're going to tonight finish reading the Torah and start all over again. And we're going to celebrate how much Torah means to us and how learning Torah is part of what it means to be Jewish. And we're celebrating especially some of our newest students and newest students of Torah. So wonderful, wonderful to be together. We are going to sing and pray and dance tonight, but we're going to start singing Hine Matov, how wonderful it is for all of us to be together. If you'd like to follow along, the words are on page 128 in the siddur. If you didn't get a siddur, there are some over there on the bookshelf on the top.
Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam
We're going to turn in our siddur to page 392. 392, and we're going to get ready for the beginning of our service with Chatzi Kaddish. And I'm going to invite everyone to please rise.
Yitzkadal ve'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrei chirutei ve'amlich malchutei B'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala u'b'zman karib ve'meru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lam me'amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh Shmei dekudesha brichu le'la min kol bechata ve'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata Damiran ve'alma ve'meru.
Amen. Page 394, the Baruch Hu.
Barechu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach you can have a seat, and we're going to read together on page 399. The very bottom of that page, there's a special reading we're going to read for this holiday of Simchat Torah and Shmini Atzeret. Source of life, every year you plant within us a new tree of life. May it be your will that this year our Torah blossoms with kindness and not cruelty, wisdom and not foolishness, awareness and not thoughtlessness. May you teach us a Torah of love that will nourish us in every season. Amen. And we get ready now for the Shema, beautiful words that we share each day, a few times every day, reminding us that God is one. If you'd like, you can put your hands over your eyes or close your eyes as we join with Cantor Cohen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
And we'll turn the page 402, Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
So we are going to sing now the same song, maybe a different melody, but the same words that our ancestors sang a long time ago when they escaped from Egypt. They were so happy. They couldn't help but to sing out and dance with joy, just like we're supposed to be really joyful tonight for Simchat Torah and thankful as well for our freedom that allows us to celebrate. We are going to sing these same words on page 406, Mi Chamocha.
Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Dance party, I love it. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilo tosef eleh, nora tehilo tosef eleh. Malchutecha, malchutecha. גאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. So I have a question. I wonder if anyone can tell me, when we were outside, not when we were eating pizza in the tent, but another place outside, there was something that we have outside. I can actually see it through the window. You're right, George, a sukkah. Sukkah. Why do we have a sukkah? What is that for? What do you think, Penina? Can you say it a little louder? That's exactly right. When the Jews went from Egypt, right after they sang that song, they had to wander around for a really long time, for 40 years, and they slept in the sukkah. That's right. It was kind of like the place that they could take from their house. They could take from place to place and set up and take down and set up and take down, kind of like camping a little bit. But tonight, now, Sukkot is ended. Pretty soon we're going to take our sukkah down. But you know what? Even though we don't have an actual sukkah with branches and decorations and things like that, every single night of the year we think about having a sukkah that's like God's sukkah, that gives us a sense of shelter and peace and all those things. So we're going to sing on page 408 a little bit of the prayer Hashkivenu that talks just about that, a sukkat shalom, a shelter of peace upon us.
The third line from the top. Ufros aleinu. Ufros aleinu sukkat, sukkat, shelomecha. Ufros aleinu sukkat, sukkat, shelomecha. Apore sukkat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
So on this holiday, I mentioned that it's Simchat Torah, but it's also a holiday called Shmini Atzeret. And this is the thing you need to know about Shmini Atzeret. On Shmini Atzeret, we change our prayers. We change our prayers. Most of the prayers are exactly the same, but there's one thing we change, and that is we change our prayer about the weather. About the weather. Up to this point, we've been thinking about summertime, and in summertime, it doesn't rain, especially in Israel. It doesn't rain very much. So we actually pray for dew, that there should be a little bit of moisture on the grass that might bring a little bit of water to the plants and the grass. But on Simchat Torah, we start to pray for Geshem. What's Geshem? Rain, exactly. Now, it seems kind of funny today to pray for rain because we already had a lot of rain today. It's a funny Vancouver prayer, but we're actually not praying for rain here. We're praying for rain in Israel, in the land of Israel, because having some rain or no rain makes a big difference. And there's not as much rain in Israel as there is here in Vancouver. So we're going to start praying for rain. But I thought maybe you guys could help me. Can we make a little bit of rain sound in here? We're going to start like this. Like this? Ooh, nice rain. Okay, we could slow down. We don't want that much rain. It's Levi's bar mitzvah soon. We don't want too much rain. All right. Very nice. So we're going to continue with the Amidah. It's on page 470. We have to skip ahead. 470. And when we get to the second prayer, you'll see we're going to start to pray for Geshem. So let's all stand together. We begin first with Avot ve'imahot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor HaNorah, Elyon, Romel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. Here it comes. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחייב ומצמיח ישועה. נאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים.
Page 474.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Amen. You can be seated. And we're going to take just a moment now for some quiet prayer for the words that aren't in the siddur, but the prayers and the feelings in our heart. Maybe say thank you. Maybe think about the blessings in our lives.
Prayer for Peace, page 488. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata
Microphone there. That's yours off. You're not here only to celebrate the Torah. That's a really big reason. But you're also here so that we can celebrate you, because many, if not all of the students that are here are brand new to our Temple Shalom school. And we want to give you a special blessing and a certificate to acknowledge how incredible it is and how wonderful it is for us to be able to study with you and to be your teachers and to be your rabbis and your cantor. and to learn from you, and not only teach you, but to learn from you, as we're going to be doing throughout this year and many, many years to come. So for that, we're going to ask all of our students to come up when we call their name. Are we doing names? I think we're doing names. They're down here. I'm going to go down there. And yes, Jen and Tammy, you guys are coming up to help though, right? So Jen and Tammy are going to call out the names of our new students. And when you hear your name, come on up, get your certificate from myself or Rabbi Brown, and then stay up here and come have a place right here on the steps of the Bima. So at the end of it all, we can celebrate you together.
We're super excited that you've chosen to be in our school, and no matter where you are on your process of learning things Jewish, you're in the right place. We've got you, and we're going to have a really good year. So, some of the kids aren't able to be here. We're going to call their names too, just because 41 names sounds pretty impressive this year. So, Ethan Braverman. I'm going to save this because your mom should see that. Okay. Liam Cohen. Asher Moss and McLean Moss. I don't want to take all the glory here.
So Marlo Fanton.
Yeah.
We'll come
Yeah.
do it.
Those.
Louis Rappaport. Come on up, Louis.
Go.
Benjamin Forencera. Adelaide Kaplan. George Horowitz Ford. I think George is here.
He's coming on this side.
Okay. And Ellie Horowitz Ford. Naomi Bondar. Dove Bondar.
Sure. Eden Seligman. Rowan Nair. Etta Rose Menashe. And her sister Ellie. Olin Hunter Good. Imogene, I know you're here. Imogene Kleiber Noble. Zachary Hyman. That's you. Asher Hildal and Levi Hildal. Maya Heyman. Zach Finkel and Lev Finkel. Ben Newer. No, Ben's here. Manuel Glagofsky. And Damien as well, both of you.
Ben, come on up here.
Brennan Karasik. And El Karasik.
Can you stand here with us? 'Cause we're going to give
Ruben Kornblum and Maya Kornblum. Zachary Kaltenbacher and Mitchell Kaltenbacher.
You can come up too.
Shoshana Tremblay Altman and Penina Tremblay Altman and Ishai Tremblay Altman.
Thank you, Trombley Altman, for multiplying our congregation one family at a time.
Lila Wilczynski. Lila's coming over here. Zev Orek. Emmy Dermer.
Everybody come stand right here on the steps.
Emmy's right over here.
Emmy, where are you?
And Leo Christopherson Dick. Come on up.
Here you go, Leo. Come stand right here. Come stand right here with us for a minute. Come stand right here. Come stand right here. So we're going to now take this talit, like Rabbi Brown and I and Cantor Cohen are wearing a talit. We're going to take another talit, a really big one. Actually, this is the talit that was the chuppah for my wedding, now that I think about it. It's a little loud. Okay, hang on. Audio. So we're going to take this big giant talit and we're going to make a sukkah over you. We're going to make like a chuppah sukkah. A chuppah sukkah.
Okay.
You can take
You
that
guys make a
corner and go stand up.
scooch in a little bit.
You guys are going to have to squeeze in a little bit.
Let's see, Mitchell, can you
Squeeze.
stand up?
Squeeze is not even a word.
You guys can both stand up over there.
Come all the way under our tent. Yeah, I'll get the front. I got it. Okay. All right. Parents, this is a perfect opportunity for a picture. It's totally fine. And we want to tell you right now that this is your sanctuary. This is your synagogue. One day maybe you'll stand here. One day for sure you'll stand here for your bar mitzvah. But between now and then, this is your place. This is your sacred place, your safe place. And we want to give you this blessing. Can you hear our song? May God bless you and keep you.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Can you hear our song? May God always be with you through all of life's journeys and grant you the greatest blessing of all, of wholeness and completion, the blessing of shalom, of peace, in a world and a home and a family filled with peace. And we can all say together, Amen.
Amen.
And Mazel Tov. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Yehelanu, 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 Ulecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecha Yisrael.
Mazel
Mazel
tov.
Now, everybody stay right here. We're going to turn around and face the ark. We're going to take out 2 Torahs, and we're going to walk around one time with them for now. We'll do the other 6 later. We'll walk around one time now, and then we're going to roll them out on this table, 2 Torahs, so that we can read the very end of the Torah and the very beginning of the Torah, all in the same breath. Cantor Cohen's going to do that. She'll breathe a little in between. Somebody's going to do that. So let's turn around as the ark is opened.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai, ein kema'asecha, malchotecha malchot kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imach, le'olam v'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Avraham Ediyah etzoncha et Zion, Tivne omot Yerushalayim, Tivne omot Yerushalayim, Ki becha levad batachnu, melech elyon v'nisra, Adon olamim, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, u'devar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Shema Yisrael,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Let's all turn around and bow to the ark.
Gadol Adonai Eloheinu, Merov Shemo Yachdav.
So you're going to follow the Torahs, follow me and Rabbi Brown. We're going to make one circuit all the way around and then roll the Torahs out on the table as Cantor Cohen and Annette lead us in a little singing.
Lecha Adonai Hagidol Hagibura.
Come this way.
Yichol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Yichol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Adonai Amarav, Berit na'aseh lechol erosh. From Adonai Elohim ve'natavu lehar kodsho romemu. Adonai Elohim ve'natavu lehar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavo.
Stand around the table on both sides. Don't
Around the
touch the
table,
Torah.
romemu. Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavo. Lehakodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki
Thank you.
kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
Yeah, leave it, y'all. Yeah, can you
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavo lehar kodsho. Romemu
You take a step back just for a
Adonai
moment.
Eloheinu
So we're not going to touch it. Take one step back.
lehar kodsho. Ki
Let's put our hands behind our back for a moment.
kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki
You're going to be the, Paul, you're going to be the glorification along the table, okay? You screwed up. We're all going to have to fast for 40 days. Excuse me. Let's let Cantor Cohen get in there. Is she?
I'm over here.
Here she comes. So, before you are 2 Torah scrolls. If we rolled these all the way out, each one would be 3 football fields. 3 football fields. And that's American football fields, probably like 2.5 Canadian football fields. And on this scroll, because much of the Torah is over here, and the very end of it's over there, that's the end of the Torah. That's the book of Deuteronomy. And on the scroll where Rabbi Brown is the beginning of the Torah, the book of Genesis, of Bereshit. And the whole story of the year to come is that way. And the whole story of the year that was is this way. And since it was kind of a year that I don't mind moving on from, it's great to move from this story to that story, but it's the same story. We read it over and over again. It doesn't change, but we change. We change from year to year. We hear it differently. We see ourselves in it differently. It means different things to us. So we're going to say a blessing for the reading of Torah, and then Cantor Cohen is going to chant. And when she gets to the last word of the book of Deuteronomy, of the Devarim, she's going to continue that note to the very first word of Bereshit without breathing in between. So don't get in her way between the two. We don't want to lose our cantor. We just got her. Let's say the blessing for the reading of Torah. Parents, you can get closer. It's okay. It doesn't bite. It's not a bris. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMvorach.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai HaMvorach Elam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
אמן, ולא קם נביא עוד בישראל כמשה, אשר ידעו אדוני פנים אל פנים, לכל האותות והמופתים, אשר שלחו אדוני לעשות בארץ מצרים, לפרעה לכל עבדיו ולכל ארצו. ולכל היד החזקה ולכל המורא הגדול אשר עשה משה לעיני כל ישראל. בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים. ויאמר אלוהים יהי אור, יהי אור, ויהי אור. וירא אלוהים את האור כי טוב, ויבדל אלוהים בין האור ובין החושך. ויקרא אלוהים לאור יום ולחושך קרא לילה. ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום אחד.
Rabbi Brown.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם אתה בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
So you know sometimes when people sing happy birthday, at the end of the song they sing skip around the room? This is the birthday of the Torah, and we're going to, not so much skip, but we're going to parade the Torah around the room. We've already done one time. We're going to do 6 more times, one for each day of creation, one for each day of the week. And your parents, who have already had a bar mitzvah, can help us hold the Torahs, because we've got some other ones we need to carry also. So I'm going to go up there to hand out some Torahs. If some parents will join us to carry the Torahs. We have some stuffy Torahs over here in a basket that Tammy has for you all to carry as we roll these Torah scrolls up. And we're going to parade our Torahs around the sanctuary. How many times? 6 times.
If you're having trouble counting, Elle will hand out some stickers for your kids so that you can keep track of how many laps.
That's how we get our steps in. על שלושה דברים.
Come on up and get a Torah.
Come up, get a Torah. על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים. על שלושה דברים. על שלושה דברים.
על שלושה דברים,
Here you go, down, down.
על שלושה דברים, העולם עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים.
Let's leave those off for now.
It's spicy. Here we go. It's spicy. La mahaziki bavetomcheha. Neusha. It's spicy. La mahaziki bavetomcheha. Neusha. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree of life.
Jewish
To
tree
them
of
that
life.
hold fast to it, and all of its
There's the
supporters
baton.
are happy. It is a tree of life. To those that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. It's time. Ila machaziki bavetomcheha. Neusha. It's time. Ila machaziki bavetomcheha. Neusha. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
There you go.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree of life. Does not hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life. Does not hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy.
You're not counting.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Oh, you lost your shoe.
Eilech Hamdalibi, Husaname Alatitale. 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 ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, הגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, הגל הארץ, הגל הארץ. Here we go. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. סלאם עלינו ועל כולם. סלאם, סלאם, סלאם עלינו ועל כולם. סלאם, סלאם. One more time. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם.
Please be seated. Wow.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. Who doesn't love a parade of Torahs, right? I love a parade. So before we end our service, we want to take a moment to think about people who aren't here. We're skipping Elenu. To think about people who aren't here, but who we wish were here, who would so love that their children, their grandchildren, are in a synagogue this evening, receiving a blessing, carrying the Torah, carrying on Jewish tradition. So I'm going to read the names of those that died recently in our congregation, and then I want to invite anybody who is thinking of somebody that would have loved to have been here, and who maybe is looking down from heaven and shepping nachas, crying tears of joy in this moment, to add their names as well. So we remember those who died during this past week or this past month, whose families are in the midst of Shiva and Shloshim. Evelyn Campbell, Hyman Gutman, Maury Harrison, Ronald Levitt, Judy Libben, Will Samuels, Anna Shapiro, Murray Shapiro, Dr. Martin Spurgill. And now, if there's anybody who's remembering anyone who would have loved to have been here for this moment, if you could rise and share their name in the midst of our congregation as well. Anybody else? Mm-hmm. My grandma Vera and my grandfather David, who was the bar mitzvah tutor and the conversion tutor at my parents' synagogue growing up, they would have loved this moment. Anybody else? So we're going to rise and turn to page 598 as we remember all of those whose names we mentioned, as well as those whose names we don't know, people that died in the Holocaust and the Shoah, who we don't even know their names, but we know that their memory should be a blessing. Page 598. Yit Gadal, Yit Gadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yomad, Yivrach, Yerutev, Yamlich Malchuteh, B'chayechon, Uv'yomechon, Uv'hayed Chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Bizman Kariv, V'yimaru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, V'orach, Le'olam, V'lomei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitba'ar, V'yitroman, V'yitnaseh, V'yit Adar, V'yit Aleh, V'yit Alal, Shemei Kudesha, B'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, daminron be'alma, V'yimaru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemayim, V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, V'yimaru, Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Uya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, V'yimaru, Amen. May the memories of everyone we've mentioned and all those that we mourn always be for a blessing. And we can all say together, Amen. We're going to do a kiddush, a motzi, a closing song. You're going to get a treat as you go home, and then everybody's going to go home and have naps. Or not naps, have sleeps. Parents are going to have naps. Parents might have a drink of wine, too. But anyhow, do we have a kiddush cup somewhere? Yeah,
yes.
we do.
At least we have
Well,
kiddush.
no.
Oh, that's
The
fun.
closing song, we'll get a kitchen.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll start with the closing song. Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael,
Just a kiddush cup is fine.
ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom
imaginary Kiddush cup. Don't spill your imaginary wine in the sanctuary.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha banu mikol am, veromemanu mikol lashon, vekidshanu b'mitzvotav, vatiten lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava. מועדים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון, את יום השמיני חג העצרת הזה, זמן שמחתנו מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ומועדי קודשך בשמחה ובששון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש ישראל והזמנים.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Waiting for you outside is a little bit of a treat in our Shalom Garden tent. Services tomorrow morning for those that want to come, 10 a.m. here or online. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.